This is Danica Goes Global from Sky News Australia.
Welcome to the program. So Trump Derangement Syndrome has reached nuclear grade levels, and I mean they're off the charts. And all over a little video posted to Truth Social. Now, if you haven't seen it, it is about voter fraud claims dating back to the 2020 presidential election. And in the final moments that has really got the left in a spin, Barack and Michelle Obama's heads are seen superimposed onto primates' bodies as The Lion Sleeps Tonight plays in the background. Now, we're not going to show you the clip. Donald Trump has conceded it was a mistake. He was very quick to admit that. And yes, I agree. It was a stupid mistake. But I'm going to show you how the left has used this and absolutely manipulated it into something that it's simply not. They are having a meltdown, throwing around their favourite word of all time, racist. But here's the thing. The left are obsessed with making everything about racism. You could be waving the American flag and they will tell you you're racist, right? Why? Because it's just so easy for them to tie themselves in knots of imagined guilt and project it back so that they feel better about themselves in their miserable lives. So let me explain it to you. The video accidentally posted was 2 seconds of what is actually a 1-minute AI-generated meme. The original video, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, shows all of the Democrats in the jungle and Trump as the king of the jungle. Okay? That was it. That was what the full clip was. But in what was originally posted, the video about voting ended up somehow with the AI clip, that 2 seconds spliced at the very end. Some White House staffer has clearly made an error of judgment. They've made a mistake. They did not cut out that last part. It's literally that simple, okay? It's just not that deep. But of course, the Democrats, liberal media, the left, they love it. They love it when they can just hang anything on Donald Trump. So they've gone and they've made a big deal about this. And the hysteria is mind-blowing. Quite frankly, mind-blowing. And all it's done is expose the hypocrisy of the left, and I'll get to that in a moment. You've got to have a look at these headlines, right? We'll start with CNN. They are going with racist video is merely the latest in a long line of Trump's ugly social media posts. Here's my favourite, MS Now. Trump's obsession with the Obamas. Seriously? Barack Obama can't stop talking about Trump. He is the one obsessed. Give me a break, okay? This is at another level of stupidity. Regardless, Donald Trump has taken down the post and says that he won't apologise. And why should he? Have a look.
I gave it to the people to generally they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down, and we turned it, But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. We took it down as soon as we found out about it.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things. I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine. And they had that one post, and I guess it was a takeoff. By the way, a lot of people covered. If you look at where it came from, I guess it was a takeoff on The Lion King. And certainly it was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it. And probably they would have had the sense to take it down.
And look, he's right, but the left, of course, won't accept that. And so it just gets worse. Now, bear in mind before you see this, this is over a simple mistake with a very simple explanation. Laura Coates on CNN, let's bring her up.
And the timing, it couldn't be more significant. I mean, you realize that the opening ceremonies of the Olympics start today. Oh. Americans beaming with pride at the chance to represent this country, praying that after all their diligence and discipline and skill and hard work and toil, that they will hear our national anthem from the top of a podium. Can you imagine that meanwhile their president not only refuse to honor their values, the collective values we espouse to the entire world, but won't apologize for failing to either.
She's grappling. She's really grappling, isn't she? And I love that CNN think that the athletes are really plugged into social media while they're out on the slopes and trying to win gold. Again, it just doesn't have to go this far. But this CNN panel also lapped it up.
This is not only a racist post, but a president who is engaged in racist policies, who has encouraged racist rhetoric from his supporters, who came to office on behind a racist conspiracy about Barack Obama. So this is all within his kind of political history.
Right. Racist policies. Let me think, like getting rid of illegal immigrants, getting rid of rapists, murderers and drug dealers. Yeah, really, really racist. Come on. This narrative is so tiresome. And then there's TV host Stephen A. Smith, who's having a galactic freak out. Have a look at this.
That same guy is the guy in the White House using his administration to tell you he had nothing to do with a post that has his fingerprints and his smell and his stench written all over it. I should just be one of millions of voices that's speaking against this kind of nonsense. Even if it is some White House staffer who made a mistake, which I don't believe it was him.
Whoa.
I don't believe that for 1 second. But if it was, what's their name?
I mean, he's actually demanding a name. Is that going to make a difference to the victim narrative? And then there's everyone's favourite, Democrat Rep. Maxine Waters.
Ahead to the State of the Union that's coming up later this month. I know in the past you have chosen not to attend Trump's speeches. Do you plan to be there this time?
Oh, no. I will never honor him with my presence. This man doesn't deserve to be the president of the United States. There's nothing that he can say in the State of the Union that will erase his behavior, will erase his racism, and I have no need to sit there and listen to him pretend or lie. You know, he's the biggest liar that we've ever encountered anytime, any place, anywhere. So no, I will not be there for sure.
Oh, what a shame. Okay, well, firstly, I'll say it's good to see Maxine's wig in place for once, because you never know what you get. Sometimes it's stage left, sometimes it's stage right. It's never in the right spot. But secondly, I'm sure that Donald Trump is devastated at the prospect of her not gracing him with her presence. Absolutely devastating scenes. Over in the UK, never mind border protection, Trump is the flavour of the day.
This is one of the most racist things I've ever seen come out of a world leader, I think at any point during my lifetime and maybe during your lifetime as well.
Yeah, maybe you should actually just focus on UK policies. And then have a look at this from Republican Senator Tim Scott. He's posted praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. Oh, no. Look, take your grievances up with the president directly. Don't post it all over social media. That's not what you do. Donald Trump is not racist. Days ago, he was on stage with Nicki Minaj, for goodness sake. But here's the issue. This is the problem that I have, okay? It's with the hypocrisy. Sheer hypocrisy. Whenever the Democrats say anything remotely racist, it's palmed off, nothing to see here, no, close your eyes, nothing. So we've gone through the archives for you because we know that you love the Joe Biden classic hits. And let me tell you, his hits are worse than a 2-second meme about the Obamas. Please watch and enjoy.
Kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
Sort of mainstream African American, who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
Sorry, let's just stop that there. He referred to Barack Obama as the first mainstream African American who is articulate, bright, clean and nice, as opposed to what? And that's not considered racist? I mean, that is worse than the AI meme video. Let's continue.
Well, In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking. Oh, gigantic.
Look, I have no words. And remember this, Perla.
Question, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Yeah, the guy's been losing his marbles for years. And then there's the Obamas themselves. Here's Michelle on her book tour recently.
If I hear of someone whose fashion that I like and I know that they're a person of color, I try to make it a point. But the clothes have to be available. You know, I think we can all do some work to think about that balance in our wardrobes. You know, what does our closet look like and who's in it? Mm-hmm. Who are we supporting in it?
Right.
You know, and I think if you have the money to buy Chanel, then you have the money to buy everybody.
Right.
And so let us be mindful, I think would be my advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so she won't buy clothes from a place if they're white. That is racist, plain and simple. And as for Barack Obama, name a more race-obsessed American president. Strong diplomatic race relations actually went out the window during his time. And that's not just me saying it. Look at this, poll after poll. Most say race relations worsened under Obama. And don't forget, cast your minds back, that is where the whole Black Lives Matter movement began under his presidency, and it spiraled from there. Out of that came George Floyd. The Democrats literally took the knee. I mean, who can forget? Who can forget? Nancy Pelosi, there she is in her red suit. Mask on, of course. They've all got their masks on the cold, hard floors of US Congress, on the floor, taking the knee. I mean, what an absolute spectacle that was. But it points to selective outrage. Remember this. My dad was not an orangutan, Donald Trump says in a lawsuit. Now, you might remember this. This is the Globe and the Mail. This is when they Donald Trump took Bill Maher to court after Bill Maher, back when he was in his woke era, claimed that Donald Trump's dad was an orangutan. Now, Trump wasn't laughing. The left was. And so Donald Trump sued him. What about this? Where was the left at this moment when Kathy Griffin, who can forget? It's actually quite disturbing to look at. Even after all these years, Kathy Griffin holding up Donald Trump's severed head. Okay? The left thought, what a hoot. They thought it was the greatest thing on the internet. It's not. It was never the greatest thing on the internet. And then there's Don Lemon, fresh from his arrest. He had a lefty on his show. And where is the outrage at a comment like this?
We really need some fumigation, right? We need a exorcism, for lack of a better term. We need a more aggressive approach to go in and surgically remove the cancer that is the Donald Trump and MAGA movement.
Okay, imagine if it was let's fumigate black people. Again, can you see the hypocrisy here? And you know what the funniest part is? African Americans actually love Trump. Trump almost doubled support among black voters at the last US election compared to the election in 2020. So imagine CNN when they heard this. Van Jones thought he'd got himself some sort of a gotcha moment, and it failed.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump again, yes or no?
Yes, I would. Now, in the future, I am not a diehard Democrat or diehard Republican. If there were a Democratic candidate who was more aligned for me, then I would vote Democrat.
If you go back in time, would you vote for Donald Trump, yes or no?
Yes.
I think I might know the answer on this next one.
She said yes. It's immediately yes. No, I'm sorry.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump, yes or no?
1,000% absolutely yes.
Yes, absolutely yes, 1,000%. And what it points to is the media lies, the nonsense outrage, this false victimhood. It's been squandered. But again, the left are offended by everything. and their only fallback is racism.